Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I have some more WARDOGS information for you guys, sent over very kindly by their community manager, Lossie, who used to be a fellow Battlefield YouTuber, but now apparently works for the WARDOGS guys. No, this video is not sponsored. However, I did get given this information early so I can make this video for you guys, recapping all of this new devlog. WARDOGS is of interest to me, and I think of a lot of you, just because it is another combined arms shooter. But it's a bit of a different take on a combined arms shooter, and they outline quite a bit of interesting information here. So let's start going over everything. If you enjoy the channel, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button, and I'm sure I will be playing WARDOGS pretty soon here, and I'm interested to give you my first impressions, because I have to be honest, WARDOGS is a game that I do not anticipate absolutely loving, but I feel as though I should probably still cover it because, well, I mean, who can stand playing a single game, you know? I feel like I just need to play something else. So overall, this devlog really emphasizes the three pillars of WARDOGS, and in the developer's words, these three pillars are believable foundations, depth and decision-making, and player-driven, all-out warfare. For those of you that aren't aware what type of game WARDOGS is, apparently this game is going to be having 100 players in a single server, split between 3 teams, and they said themselves, this is not a Battlefield game, this is not an extraction shooter. WARDOGS, in the eyes of the developers, is a completely unique take on the all-out warfare, combined arms shooter genre. The first pillar they dive into is the believable foundations, and they really heavily emphasize the fact that they're trying to make everything in the game grounded and believable, and they're basing a lot of the stuff in the game, like weapon audio, the physical weapons themselves, the velocities, off of real-life experiences. They said they actually flew out some of the members of the development team to have on-hands weapon firing experiences at shooting ranges. But at the same time, another developer emphasizes that, quote, "We are not using realism in the pursuit to be the most realistic shooter ever. We're using it as a foundation to add believable depth to the game." Gotta be honest with you, I don't really know how much I buy that, considering this game, at least from what I can tell, is gonna be way more on the milsim side of things than, like, closer to Battlefield, if that makes sense. But the devs go on to detail another new system they showcase called War Dynamics, and this is really interesting. So it's basically incredibly complicated bullet dynamics. So they have bullet drop, velocity, air resistance, different masses, diameters of bullets, different drag models for all of these different bullets. Bullets can ricochet based off of surface type, which means potentially in some areas you can know what weapon and what caliber you're using, and you can say, hey, there's a guy behind this corner, maybe I can potentially ricochet a bullet off of this specific surface and try to hit him. So I think that's actually pretty crazy. Then they go into the audio system. They really emphasize they wanted the audio, again, to feel grounded. They use the term grounded in this devlog a lot. They mentioned the fact that there will be a volume distinction between friendly and enemy footsteps. There will be a subtle hit indication audio, so you don't actually have to have a physical hit marker appear on your screen to tell if you hit an enemy soldier, which I think is pretty cool. And finally, they mentioned caliber-based bullet snaps. So this just means if a 50 cal round misses near your head, that's going to sound different than if a 9mm round misses near your head. The second pillar they go on to detail is called depth and decision making, and in this particular section they heavily emphasize that they don't want to pigeonhole players into particular roles and playstyles. They want to let players have total freedom. They want you to make your playstyle. They mention that every single loadout has its trade-offs, and inventory size determines what you carry, your weight, your movement speed, what equipment you can use, what weapons you can use. Basically, they're just trying to emphasize if you want to have a light machine gun, you're probably going to be slower and less maneuverable. The equipment and weaponry you decide to use in WARDOGS not only determines what your playstyle is going to be, but it also costs in-game currency, which you get for killing players, performing basic actions like getting a kill assist, or transporting your teammates. And this segues us perfectly into the third pillar they detail in this devlog, player-driven all-out warfare. So in this pillar, they really try to hammer home that they want players once again to play how they want, but this time the developers themselves go through their individual playstyles. One developer tells us that he likes to snipe, one tells us he likes to base build, the other one says they like to be a transport pilot. And the point of them doing this is they want to show that no matter what your playstyle is, you're going to be able to have some sort of measurable impact on the outcome of the game while simultaneously not starving yourself for money so you can actually buy more equipment, so you can get more upgraded weapons. One developer said that his playstyle is essentially just going around the map and hacking these towers for a specific code that makes a certain area on a map a hot zone, and then based on that hot zone, some commander or some other person can send reinforcements or resupplies to that hotly contested area. So it sounds to me they're going for just a bunch of massive chaos on a gigantic map with 100 players battling it out to the end. And, you know, I have to applaud them for taking this very deliberate and very uncompromising approach when it comes to making the game they want to make. Based on some previous devlogs, they even emphasize that they're not even really looking for that much success. I think they stated they'd be happy with 10,000 players, which is crazy for a developer to admit, like, before the game releases. But in a way, it's also really nice to hear that, because I'm really fucking tired of, like, hearing the CEO of EA talk about, oh, we need 100 million players or something like that. It's like, oh my fucking god. Like, video games are just money machines for these companies. Whereas WARDOGS, it feels like more authentic messaging and more like they're really trying to make a game. I am really not sure if I will end up liking WARDOGS whatsoever, but I have to tip my hat to the development team just because of the way they're approaching the game development itself. At the end of this devlog, they do mention that closed playtests are going to be coming soon, so that's cool. Maybe I'll try to get into one. I'm not sure if I'll be able to. Apparently, they did state these are going to be pretty small tests. But if I do get an opportunity to play the game, I will definitely give a first impressions video. So if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let me know if WARDOGS is on your personal game radar. I'm not certain this game is going to be a fantastic Battlefield alternative. I don't even think that that's what they're going for. But fuck it. Release more games. I'm always down for more games. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video.
Yo.
I've been fucking sniped.
Wait, he collided us, by the way.
What the fuck?
How is it even, like, physically possible?
Yes, sir. Well, that ain't good.
Oh,
I play games 2034.
but, like, look at the angle where he hit us. Like, I am full protect.